This is a 2023 Chevrolet Bolt EUV, and I think it's about the best value electric vehicle you can buy. This is our 23 Chevy Bolt EUV. We've been waiting a long time for this car. We've been on the wait list for about 5 months, and so excited to get it. It's a fully electric vehicle. This is the Premier Redline edition. It's a great little hatchback. You can see there's lots of room here in the back. There's even storage underneath in the back area. As well, you can certainly fold down the seats to get lots of room. The Redline edition comes with some extra red striping on the seats, as well as some red trim on the wheels and on the side view mirrors. And I really like this mosaic black paint. I think it just really sparkles in the sun. A lot of people are interested in electric vehicles right now. One reason, obviously, is that it's cheaper than gas. Even in states like California, where electric rates are high, the price of running an electric vehicle is about half that of running a gas-powered vehicle. Certainly in Midwest here, it's going to even be cheaper than that. The other thing is maintenance. No oil changes, no internal combustion engines and transmissions or things like that. A lot less expensive to maintain an electric car. And then perhaps most importantly, zero emissions from an electric car. Reducing smog, reducing greenhouse gases, much better for the environment. The first step to our test drive is to unplug the vehicle that's been charging all night. You can see one of the options we got was the illuminated charge port. There's actually some logic behind that blinking. 2, 3, 4. 4 quick blinks means it's in the top 25% of the battery capacity. So when I get to get ready to leave, I just simply go here, unplug, and then we're ready to go. Of course, one of the great advantages of an electric car is being able to charge at home as opposed to having to go to gas stations. Chevy sells the car with an adapter that can charge off of both 120 volt, a normal plug-in, plus Chevy includes paying to get a 240 volt or level 2 plug-in put into your garage or shop in our case. In this case, it was pretty easy. There was existing conduit there, so they just strung thicker cable, a 6-gauge wire to put in a NEMA 1450 outlet and then a 50 amp circuit. And the result is we've got level 2 charging at home, so the vehicle fully charges overnight. The other sound I'm hoping to capture for you is the sound it makes when we first get into the car. So after we get in here, you'll see a nice startup screen. Did it sing its little song to you?
It did sing a song to me, yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Over here you can see the main infotainment screen, and one of the things that we really like about it is how quick it is, how fast it is. It has Apple CarPlay, and it has, of course, all of the unique things that are relevant to the electric vehicle. Are these energy screens. This right now is a flow screen. You'll see that once we start driving, it will show energy coming out of the battery, and then when we're doing regenerative braking, it'll show battery or energy flowing back into the battery. This is the charging screen, so you can see I've set a limit to about 90%. If you're just driving around town like I am most days, I don't need the full 100%, so it's probably easier on the battery to charge it to 90 or 95%. That also gives you some capacity to use the regenerative braking. Because electric vehicles are so quiet, For safety, the government requires the manufacturers to make them emit a noise at low speeds to alert pedestrians. Here's the space-age sound of the Chevy Bolt, coming from a speaker located under the front bumper. When you are at low speeds, one of the things I really like is the 360-degree camera. So you can see here, it's giving us a real good look at all around the car. I'll show you pictures of the cameras that are on the outside of the vehicle. Again, this is really handy. You can use aim it for the forward. This shows you the reverse. If we go here, you can take a look at magnify the front to see just what's right in front of the car, what's right behind the car. Really, really handy. And then here you can take a look at the two side cameras, and this gives you the overhead view. So it's really, really pretty handy tool. Here's the forward camera on the front grille. Here are the two side cameras on the side mirrors that give you the side view. Here is the lower camera on the rear, and then this is the upper rear camera that's used for the rear view mirror. This is the gear selectors here. So you've got a parking brake here. This button is the one pedal driving button that uses a lot of the regen brake. Drive, neutral, reverse, and park. So you just lift up on these. But that puts it into gear. Park is a push, reverse is a pull up. So in this case, we'll shift into drive. I've got the one pedal driving on because I do like that. It allows you to accelerate and then brake just using the gas pedal. So it's pretty slick. Driving the Chevy Bolt is really no hardship at all. The steering feels good and not abstract or disconnected. It's very comfortable. I've got great visibility. I've got the side mirror indicators if there's traffic beside me. I like how I sit. I like the size and the feel of the car. So again, really comfortable. Certainly very effective at driving around town. So of course, one of the fun things about an electric vehicle is the instant torque or instant acceleration. So we're on just a little side road here. So let me just show you a little bit here. We can put it into gear and accelerate. So there is a sport button here. So if you turn that on, that turns on sport mode. And I'll turn off the one pedal regenerative braking, and then we'll do a short little acceleration. So we are in sport mode. We've turned one pedal acceleration off. That's fun. That won't help my energy score, but it's fun. Let's talk for a minute about some of the information here on this dashboard. You can see right here, it's showing me my expected range, and it's showing both an upper limit and a lower limit. You can also see on the other side here, I'll switch over, and you can see over here information that shows you the kilowatt hours that you're consuming right now. And again, that will indicate a yellow and a green as you either are using more energy or are reducing your energy consumption. And right down here, there's a little green regen button that will show battery energy going back into the battery. And that's when you're using the regen braking. If you take a look right now at the energy display, you'll notice that there's a blue going from the tires, or from the battery, sorry, to the tires, meaning we're drawing power right now. Again, if I let my foot off the accelerator, we'll go to regen, and you'll see that green color. That means energy is going back into the battery. This is another one of the energy panels, and here it's showing kind of our usage since the last full charge. So in this case, we've got 170 0.4 miles since the last full charge. I've been just charging it up incrementally each night. And so in that case, we've been averaging 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. And of that, 88% of our energy usage has been towards the actual driving or propulsion of the vehicle. 12% has been towards climate settings, meaning heating the heated seats or the fan or the air conditioning. And then if you take a look at this screen, this gives me a gold star because it says right now my driving technique, probably because I'm so enamored with all the fuel efficiency or energy efficiency, I should say. The technique has been positive, so I've been using regenerative braking and not flooring it too much. The terrain has been kind of negligible. Here in Iowa, it's pretty flat, but you can see we've lost 21 miles of potential range due to just climate, using energy for the heater. And then also we've been impacted by the outside temperature because it's been cold. And then if we take a look at history, this shows you an average of how you've been trending. So as I'm getting more familiar with the car, we're starting to trend up in the 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is getting good. Another feature that I really quite like is the wireless charging. That works really great. And as I mentioned, the Apple CarPlay is all connected wirelessly here. And so that's a great feature as well. And again, the speed and responsiveness of the screen is great. One other thing I'll maybe just show is the My Chevrolet app. It's available on your phone, and then it also integrates here to the car. So again, it starts telling you some things about your energy, your service, find nearby charging stations if you'd like. So here's a list of nearby stations pop up right away. Tell you what's free and what's available, how many ports are available at that charging station. There's all the places you could come and charge locally. And again, just to go over, I do like the fact that there are real buttons here for the heated seats, heated and cooled seats. And it's nice to be able to access those without having to go through a screen when you're driving. One of the other features that I'm quite enjoying with the car is this sunroof. And so one of the things that I really like is it makes a relatively small car feel a lot bigger to have this open roof, and the nice fact that it does actually vent open or open. I think one of the important things too to evaluate in an electric car is to remember it's a car. And so one of the things that matters is how does it ride? And I really like the size of the Bolt EUV. It's a little bit of a bigger, small hatchback. I know they tend to try to think of it like a electric utility vehicle. Really, it's kind of a big hatchback. But for being a smaller car, I think because of the weight of the battery, it actually has a very good ride. And so for a smaller car with small wheelbase, it's still a very confident and capable feeling ride and suspension. Just to give you a little more context for this camera rear view mirror, you have a couple of options here. If you press this, you can see we can adjust the brightness, turn it down or turn it up. We can zoom in or zoom out, so you can magnify it. And then you can also kind of adjust the angle, so kind of tilt it up or tilt it down, however you're set to look at it. So really, it's amazing how something I found it really quite useful. And again, there would be the view if you if you were just using it as a regular mirror. You've got kind of the rear seats and the headrests and the things in the way. So the chance to get this camera is really kind of helpful. So one of the things that differentiates the Bolt EUV from the EV is extra legroom in the back seat. So let me pop in here. I'm in the back seat here now, and you can see that there's a little bit of a scallop up after the sunroof. So I do have enough headroom here. I am 5'9.5". So there's a fair amount of headroom. And the important thing is a lot more legroom. This driver's seat is set to where I was comfortable driving it. And I've got tons of room here in the back seat. One thing that the Chevy Bolt does not have that some electric vehicles do is a front trunk. General Motors has used this engine bay area to put in some of the electrical charging components. The battery lies in the middle of the car, low, underneath the middle, and the electric motor drives the front wheel and is down low. But you can see there's still other components here that are used up in this front trunk. Well, I've certainly sung the praises of the car, and we really like it, but it's important to understand there's one thing that the Chevy Bolt does not do well, and that's its ability to quickly recharge at a level 3 or DC fast charger. This comes into play if you're going to go on a long road trip and you need to stop along the highway and recharge at a fast charger. The Bolt can only recharge at level 3 at 55 kilowatts per hour. That's a lot less than some of the other competitors out there, like the Volkswagen ID4, certainly the Tesla models, or the Mustang Mach-E. It will take the Chevy Bolt about 30 to 40 minutes to gain 100 miles of range at a fast charger. Some of those other cars could certainly do that in half the time or a third of the time. If you're going to find yourself on a lot of long road trips with a lot of miles, then you're probably going to want an electric vehicle that will recharge faster, or maybe that's still where your internal combustion engine is the best answer. Right now, we certainly have both, this electric vehicle and a gas vehicle. When we need to make a quick road trip where speed is important, that gas vehicle will be probably our choice. But if we've got time and we can plan it, we'll enjoy driving in this one. It's certainly very comfortable to ride in. And if you time your stops right for recharging on a long road trip, time it over lunch, so far it seems as though there's plenty of charging stations available and plenty of options. And so, even with that fast charging limitation, I still think this is one of the best value fully electric cars you can get right now. Kelley Blue Book estimates that the average cost of a new vehicle as recorded in November of 2022 in the United States was $48,000 and change. This car, list price MSRP, was $36,500, and the federal tax credit for electric vehicles was worth up to $7,500 depending on your income level. That almost takes the price of this well below $30,000 for a very fully featured car. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of our fully electric Chevy Bolt EUV. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see other travel videos and information videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button.